also get cars for free. But today, I want to see with you what would happen if everything in the city had to be paid for, and you had to work to get it. So for that, I'm at the bus stop, waiting for the bus to arrive here, and it's finally getting here to pick me up in Roblox. And for those of you who don't know, the person working here is my friend, and he also lives in this city where everything is paid. He said, I'm working to get a new house, and that's pretty interesting. But now he got back on the bus, so I'm going to have to get in here, and now he's driving this bus. But it's going to take a long time for him to get to my house in Roblox, because he has to follow a route until he gets to my house, and on this route, he will go through the whole map. But after a long time, he is finally arriving here, back at my house in Roblox. And my house is exactly here. Now I just got out of the car, and he wants his money, after all I need to pay since he brought me to my house. And my house is exactly this one, and you can see that I have this motorcycle, but it's broken. So I'm going to give him this money, which unfortunately is all I have right now. And I'm the poorest person in Brookhaven, because I don't have any money. And you can see that my friend is coming up front to continue his work. After all, he has a lot to do. But I noticed that there's a player in the middle of nowhere, and I'm going to have to come here to talk to him, because I want to see what he's doing. So I'm coming up here, and this is the rich people's area. This player said, you will never have 1% of what I have. And now he's laughing at me, for no reason. And I didn't do anything to him at all. And now he's going back to his house, which apparently is this one, and it's just amazing. He has a Lamborghini. But guys, one day I will get what he has, especially because I'm going to work really hard, since I live in a city where everything is paid for. So much that I can't even come to this part, because there's a player here who won't let me pass. But guys, I just arrived here to talk to the player, because I want to see what he's doing. But he just stood up here, and he said, do you want to buy a house? If yes, come with me. Look, I want to buy a house, but I don't have enough money to buy it. But he got into his car, so I'm coming here too. And this car is really expensive, and I don't have money to buy this car. Now he's coming up front, and I want to see which house he's selling in Roblox. So he arrived right here, and it looks like he's selling exactly this house. And I came right here to talk to him, but I have to tell him that I don't have any money. I said, I don't have money for anything, and I really don't have anything. I lost all my money, so much that you can tell I don't have rich clothes anymore, because I had to sell them to be able to pay the bus driver, who is my friend. He said, okay, you can come talk to me when you have money, and I'm going to do that, because for sure it's the best decision I can make. But he's leaving here, and just left right at this spot. But guys, I just realized that there's a really interesting house here, and this house is being built, and maybe I can help build this house to earn some money in Brookhaven. And apparently this is the owner of the house, and I have to find out where he is so I can talk to him and see if I can build this house. But I just realized that he is here, and he works at the bank. So I came here to talk to him, especially because I have a very interesting proposal. I said, I can build your house if you pay me well. But he stood up here and said, I hate that house. If you build it, I will give you a gift. But I don't know why he hates that house, since it's not even ready, but it looks like it's going to be an amazing house. So I'm going to accept his proposal and build this house to simply get some surprise. And you can see back there that the player is again working here in Roblox. But he stood up here and said, buy new clothes and equipment and go build my house. Okay, I'm going to do that because it's going to be very important. Now he went back to work, so I'm coming here to buy new clothes. Perfect! Now I'm like this, and I'm simply ready to start. And I also bought these two materials, and now I just need to build this Roblox house. But guys, this player is looking over here, and he said, hey, I'm going to remove the items from here so I don't get in your way. And apparently he wants to remove these items, and that's going to be very important. Now he removed all of that, and I don't know how that's going to be important, but maybe he helped me. But now I'm going to start building this house, especially because it's going to be very important. And you can see that my friend is coming back here after a long time. And finally he's back, and I even want to see where he lives, but it looks like he lives in that house right in front of my house. And his house is also very simple, and we are both very poor. And now he's coming here to sleep. But meanwhile, I'm going to have to stay up all night working here to build the player's house. Now a lot of time has passed, and you can see that it's already night, and I'm still building this Roblox house. But I'm very impressed that this player is still here, and he works here all day. I said, don't you sleep? Because I noticed this player hasn't slept until now. But he is coming here, and said, no, I get paid to stay here. And apparently he doesn't sleep in Brookhaven, which is pretty weird. But again, he went back there to hold that sign in Roblox and stop people from coming into the rich neighborhood. But now, I'm going to have to get back to work, because I have to finish this house as soon as I can, because it's going to be very important. And there's also something else I want to do. But first, I have to fix this house. So I'm finishing this wall. But that player showed up right there, and now he's just laughing at me. And I don't know why he's laughing at me. He said, you are a noob and you will never be rich. And I don't know how he's so sure about that, but I'm going to find a way to get money and simply become better than him. And I have to get the most expensive house of all, that even has a security guard here to stop people from invading this Roblox house, which really is the best house of all, even better than that player's house. He said, you will never have anything. But it looks like he left here, and finally I'm free to finish this Roblox house. But after a long time, I finally finished building this whole house. And now this house is ready for that player to live here, and this house is perfect, and it looks just like that other house. But guys, it looks like now he's coming here, and he fixed my motorcycle. He literally fixed my motorcycle, which is really good. But I want to see what he has to say. He said, keep the house for yourself. I'm already rich. And it looks like this house is now mine, and all of this because he hates this house. house. But I still don't know why he hates this house. He said, I hate this house because there's an evil neighbor next to it. And I think I already know who he's talking about. He's talking about the player who lives here, because the person who lives inside is very weird and is the worst neighbor of all. But now, it looks like he left here and is coming again to work, right at this Brookhaven bank. And he just arrived inside, and he's the person who helped me the most up until now. So I took my motorcycle, and I'm going to have to leave it right here, because now I have a lot of money. And it looks like that player is again doing the constructions that basically his boss asked for, and he's dividing the neighborhood. And I don't know why his boss thinks this neighborhood is so important, but his boss just showed up here, and he's that evil player, and now it looks like he's coming here to bother me in Roblox. And that's bad, because I don't want to talk to this player, but again he's laughing at me, and said, you will never go into my neighborhood because my neighborhood is only for rich people. But guys, I live in this city where everything that was free is now paid. But just because I have this limitation, it doesn't mean I won't get one of these houses. I'm going to find a way to do it and prove to him that I'm even better than him here in Brookhaven. But he got scared, and said, you will never be better than me because I'm going to work now. And I really don't know what job that is, but he came right here to get his Lamborghini, and I want to see what he works with, because maybe I'm going to copy that. And now, this player came right here to open the gate for his boss to pass. And his boss is coming up front, and it looks like he works here as a police officer in the city, which is pretty weird, especially because this player is not a good person, and he doesn't even have a real police car. But he changed the color of his car and put a siren on top, and now his car turned into a police car. And I'm sure this player is not a good police officer because he is very weird and also an evil person. But I don't know what job I'm going to do now to earn a lot of money. Now this player just arrived here and said, why don't you rob a bank? It's the easiest way to make money. Look, maybe it's not the easiest way, because whoever does that will be arrested as soon as they grab the money from the bank, and this police officer is exactly my enemy, so there's no way I can get arrested. I said, I know, I'm going to print money and take a little for myself, and maybe this is the easiest way to make money. But even he got scared about this and said, that's impossible. Look, I don't think it's impossible, especially because that actually exists here in the city, but I have to convince the mayor to let me do it. So guys, I'm going to have to get my motorcycle, and now I'm coming up here to simply talk to the mayor, because he has to allow me to do this. And this player is still here to sell his house, but I already have my own house, so I don't want to buy his house in Roblox anymore. And I just arrived here at the city hall, and I have to figure out a way to convince the mayor to let me print the money myself. So I'm getting here, and I hope he accepts this. I said, can I print money to pay the city workers? And I hope he says yes. He said, do you even know how to use that machine? Until today I haven't found a single person who knows how to use it. Look, I know how to use machines very well, and I literally know how to print money in Roblox. But guys, he has no idea that I'm going to take a little bit of that money for myself to buy the best houses of all. I don't want that mansion anymore. Actually, now I want the giant mansion that even has a private security guard, because I live in a city where everything used to be free and now everything is totally paid. Any service or even a car is paid in Brookhaven. But now he's coming back here because he wants to show how to go up there. And for those of you who don't know, I'm going to have to climb up right here like this. And here we have the machine that prints money. And now I'm basically going to have to mess with it. But he can't see me doing it. I said, can I mess with this machine by myself? Because I don't want him to find out how to do this. But it looks like he agreed. And now he just left here. And guys, to print money here in Brookhaven, I just need to press this button. And now it's printing money. And I'm going to take all this money for myself. But now a lot of time has passed. And you can see that it's completely night. And now I just managed to get a lot of money. And I printed as much money as possible. But I have to take advantage and save as much money as I can, especially because the mayor is not in the city. So I need help quickly to get all this money and store it in some car. So I'm coming out here, and the mayor is no longer here, and I have to find someone to help me. But there's a truck coming here, and I need him to stop immediately, especially because I need help. But he finally stopped, and actually, this is my friend. He even came here and said, I became a truck driver now. And that's pretty interesting, but I need help. I said, I got a lot of money, and I need you to store everything in the truck, and let's take this money for us. And this is my mission, and I'm sure he's going to help me do this. He even agreed to do it, and that's going to be very good. He's going to have to follow me here and help me get all the money. And now he just arrived here, and he's going to have to help me load all this money in Roblox, and you can see that it's really a lot of money. I said, leave a little bit for the mayor to take, because the mayor has to take a little bit of money so he doesn't suspect that I'm getting money. But he's looking here, and said, each one of these boxes has $10 million. And I don't know how he knows that, especially because it's a very specific piece of information. But I'm going to have to put all this money in his truck, exactly in the back part, and all the money is going to stay here. Perfect! I'm delivering as much money as possible so he can put it in the truck, and he just grabbed this box to put it inside, and you can see there's a lot of money here. Now he just closed the cargo, and this truck has approximately $50 million, which really is a lot. He said, we're rich, but now it's better for us to sleep so they don't suspect that we stole money. And what he said is true. It's better to go to sleep now to avoid problems. So I'm coming up here, because he's going to have to drive the truck, because this truck belongs to him. And he got inside, and finally we're going to leave. But guys, there's a police officer coming right here. It's the same police officer from before. He said, hey, why are you in the middle of the street? right? And this is bad. He noticed that something strange is going on, but I'm going to get out of the truck and I'm going to have to run away, so the police officer chases me and finally stops chasing my friend. And now the police officer is coming after me because he wants to know why I'm running away. And he got out of his car and he's holding this item because he wants revenge. And I don't know why he wants revenge, but meanwhile my friend is coming back to his house in Roblox to protect our money. He said, "Get back home before I arrest you." And he wants to arrest me for no reason, and that doesn't make any sense. But now I'm going to take the opportunity to get out of here. So now, finally I'm coming back to my house in Roblox. Perfect. I'm going to have to close the garage to avoid problems, and now I'm going inside to sleep, especially because tomorrow is going to be a very important day, because I'm going to buy the most expensive house of all. Perfect. It just became morning, and I'm right in front of the house I want to buy. But now, my friend is coming right here to get my money, and I'm going to have to go down here to get my money, which I'm going to split with my friend. And I want to see what he's going to spend this money on. He said, "Take the money." So he's coming back here, and you can see that there's a lot of money here. There's approximately $50 million. And now, he grabbed this suitcase. And I said, "I just want half. You can keep the rest for yourself." And he can keep half. So he gave it to me. And finally, we got everything here. There are $25 million. And in this suitcase, there are also $25 million. And now I'm finally going to be able to buy the new house. He said, "Thank you very much. I'm going to spend it all on taxes." But he just left here to pay taxes, and I didn't understand why that's the first thing he's going to do now that he got rich. But you can see he's arriving at the bank to pay the taxes he owes. But meanwhile, I'm coming here to get my motorcycle because I'm going to buy the most expensive house of all. And he's going to have to let me pass right here because this is going to be very important. But that player showed up here because he has something to say. He said, "You can't come here. You are poor." But he doesn't know what happened. Now I have a lot of money, and I'm very rich in Brookhaven, and you can see that he's scared because he didn't expect that. But now I'm coming to this mansion to simply buy it, and I just arrived here, and my motorcycle fell down there. I said, "I want this mansion," and I'm going to have to hand this money to him, and he just grabbed it here and said, "Okay, welcome boss." And now I finally got this new mansion in the game, and after a long time passed, now I'm very rich in Roblox. You can see that I'm very much a billionaire, and I also have several cool cars in the city, because even though everything is paid in the city, you have to pay to have houses, and you have to pay to have cars. And I got all of this with a lot of luck in the city. Guys, today I'm here in Brookhaven, and finally, I'm back from my trip. For those who don't know, I'm coming back to my house, which, by the way, is right up here. But guys, there are a bunch of police officers at my house. I don't really know what's going on, because my house is completely closed off, with police tape and everything. So guys, I'm going up there to see what's happening. But then a player stopped me right here. He said, "Hey, didn't you disappear?" Well, actually, no, I didn't disappear in Roblox. No way. I said,